Hi everyone, I'm Sally, I'm your youth tutor today, and we're doing some indices, which is the beginning of AS Maths and the A-star questions of GCSE. So part A, it says evaluate 11 twelfths to the power of minus 2. Yeah. So the first thing you would do is look at the power, and because it's a minus 2, it's the square. It's 11 squared over 12 squared, which is 121 over 144. And the minus means you inverse the fraction.
So can you write that as 1 over then? So if it's...
Oh yeah.
So it becomes that, yeah, okay. And so how do you deal with that?
Then you would flip the fraction over.
Yeah, so 1 over means the inverse, so you literally invert it or flip it. So you're going to...
It would become 144 over 121, and that's your final answer because it doesn't simplify
any further. Would you double underline that for me, please? That's great, okay.
So part B, it's minus 125 over 8 to the power of minus 2/3. So the first thing here would be look at the root sign. So this is a cube root of these two numbers. So the cube root of 125 is 5.
Go a bit lower because you're going to put an inverse sign, aren't you? So, yeah. Okay.
Then the cube root of 8 is 2.
But we had minus 125, so does that matter?
Yeah, so you just put it there.
I see, so it's going to be minus 5 is the cube root of minus 125.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you square both of these.
Can you put in the 1 over first, okay. Sally? Because yeah. This is that, and that's from, why do you put 1 over?
Because of this minus sign.
Okay, that's great.
And then the next thing, the last thing, is to square the fraction.
Oh yeah, would you put that in first, please? So you've got to put that in, no, that's right, yeah, so it's just squaring the lower part, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it, so we don't need the bigger bracket really, although it didn't do any harm to have it there. Okay.
So this would become minus 25 squared, which is 25 because the two minuses cancel out, over 2 squared, which is 4. And then not forgetting the 1 over means you...
Can you put that in as well, Sally? Just, that's yeah. It, so we've got 1 over...
And then, so you just flip it again. So it's 4 over 25.
And that again doesn't simplify any further. Okay, what about this last one? This is a different one, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's asking you to write it in the form kx to the power of n, where k is an integer and n is a power.
Yes, okay.
So the first thing to do is to essentially split the fraction up, so it would become 1/3 times 1 over x, and then this becomes
so the third is going to stay the same, isn't it?
Yes. And then this becomes x to the minus 1.
Well done.
And then the whole thing just becomes 1/3 x to the minus 1, where 1/3 is k, and then this is x, and then n is minus 1.
Perfect. Would you just write that at the bottom for me, Sally, please? So k equals 1/3 and n equals minus 1. They're quite tricky, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, you just have to remember which stage to do first,
and all those negatives and flipping it over.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be really careful with it. Thank you, Sally.